Be blessed, dear one, today doing a mashup of today's readings. Beloved, possessing the keys to the kingdom. Beloved, keys are very symbolic and important when they are given to somebody. Now, giving the key to somebody means giving authority to a person. In other words, giving the person permission in this regard. So, when you give your keys to somebody, it means that you are giving the person authority to come to your home or to your house. Now, some people say he has the keys to my heart, which means that the person is allowed to have your heart in this regard. Beloved, in the readings today, from the second reading from Romans, we are made to understand that God is in charge of all things and he does all things. In this regard, he's the one who has the authority and he is able to pass on the authority to give to anybody he wants because he does all things. Now, in this perspective, where we read in Isaiah chapter 22 that somebody has been given authority, and this person is Eliakim, whose name means God who raises or resurrect. Now, Eliakim happens to be a gatekeeper in the house of David. And just a gatekeeper, he was somebody who was humble, serving God, dedicated to him. Unlike Shebna, who has authority over the household, but he was rather arrogant, he was distasteful, not respecting and worshiping God. And because of this character, he was rather dethroned, and then his authority passed on to Eliakim, who happens to be the gatekeeper because he served and worshiped God. Now, coming to the gospel today, Matthew chapter 16, also we come to experience Peter, who has been given keys to the kingdom. Now, this happened when Jesus asked them, "What do people say that I am?" They gave the perspective of what people think. Some say Elijah, Jeremiah, other prophet, and then he asked them specifically, "Whom do you say that I am?" Beloved, you must have that experience. You must have that fact that you must be able to say from experience who God is to us. And because of this, Peter was given the opportunity to have the authority where the church is built upon him. Beloved, that's why he says, so how do we also possess this key? Beloved, having this key has to do with 4 letters. And these 4 letters form the word keys. Now, to possess the key to heaven, to possess the key to make it to where we will be at the end, we must have knowledge of God. Knowledge of God. So our experience, our life should bring us knowledge of God. And this experience was what Jesus was asking the disciples for. So how have you come to experience me? How do you know me? And when Peter answered, he was given this position. And this knowledge of God should have helped Shebna to be humble, to serve the Lord, which he didn't. But rather, Eliakim always had this in mind and served God to the letter and was given the keys. Now, the second letter has to do with the E, which has to do evidence. When we have knowledge of God, it must be evidential in the things we do. So our life must be a living testimony to the fact that we know God. The things we do, our life must show. Our life must teach others, must let others know. Now, the third word or letter has to do with why. Why means yielding to God. You see, the yield signpost when you are driving means giving your will, your way of going to another vehicle to pass. So we have our own will, but if you want to possess the keys of the kingdom, then you must rather yield to the will of God. God's will must be done in our lives. And that's what we pray in the Our Father prayer. May your will be done. Now, letting God's will be done in our lives also means that we must be able to translate that into our service. Because service to God is service to mankind. Service to mankind is service to God. So when we have the will of God in us, it might be seen in the way we conduct our affairs with people. Beloved, so I share with you, possessing the keys to the kingdom, you must be K, have knowledge of God. E, you must have evidence by your life that you know God. Y, you must yield to do the will of God. And S, you must serve God, because service to God and service to mankind in this manner. I pray God to bless us that we can possess the keys to the kingdom. Have a blessed Sunday.